Today we've got a few questions that trip up 90% of people taking this exam, and honestly, the traps are super sneaky. Most fail because they rely solely on prompts instead of architectural guardrails. Let's just jump straight into the first scenario of this deep dive.
Sounds good. So let's say you're building an AI customer support agent for, a mid-sized SaaS company. Your absolute golden rule is that the agent must never process refunds exceeding $500. How do you definitively enforce this constraint?
Well, my first instinct here is just to write a really strict system prompt. I'd probably just tell the model, never refund more than $500 under any circumstances. It's just what we're used to doing, right?
Right, the familiarity bias. It's extremely tempting. But remember, prompts and even few-shot examples are purely probabilistic. Relying on a system prompt is basically like taping a "please don't enter" sign to a bank vault.
Oh, wow. Yeah, a clever user prompt can just easily bypass it.
Exactly. So you need a programmatic lockdown. You'd use a pre-tool use and post-tool use hook. That's not a politely worded sign. That's the locked vault door itself.
I see. So it gives you an architectural layer to intercept and inspect the tool call in your actual code before it ever even executes.
You got it. Explicitly eliminate the prompt-based options because they are probabilistic and easily bypassed. But if you lock down actions programmatically, how do you lock down an agent's memory?
Right. Think about a really long customer conversation where critical account info just starts getting lost over time. What do you do?
Well, when context starts dropping, my immediate instinct is to just, have the agent summarize the chat more frequently.
That sounds logical.
Or maybe just automatically restart the session.
But wait, wouldn't that just make it worse? Restarting wipes the slate clean, which means you lose the context entirely. And frequent summarization is basically a game of telephone.
Oh, right. The more you summarize, the faster the specific details decay. So you're actually accelerating information loss.
Exactly. So instead of summarizing, you use an immutable case facts block. It's like having a permanent read-only sticky note glued to your monitor.
Ah, I like that. So that block gets injected into every single turn, meaning high-priority facts are locked in and never fade away.
Precisely. Speaking of memory size, what happens when an agent needs to hand off a task?
Yeah, like how a coordinator passes context to subagents. My bias here is that, well, more data is always better. I'd probably argue to pass the entire conversation history over so the subagent has the full picture.
I see that trap a lot, actually. But passing everything spikes your latency and introduces a ton of irrelevant noise.
Well, that makes sense.
Oh,
It's like handing a sous chef a massive culinary encyclopedia when all they actually need is the specific recipe card for the sauce they're making.
that is a perfect analogy. So you definitely eliminate passing the whole history or using a shared global state. Instead, use strictly scoped context. You just give the subagent exactly what it needs.
Right, which keeps them focused on their immediate objective and optimizes your token usage too. So the subagent has its specific task, but how do you definitively know when it's finished?
Wait, let me think about this. Couldn't you just write a script that parses the agent's text output looking for the phrase task complete?
Oh, if you're building a bot for your own company, definitely do not rely on natural language for that.
Raleigh. Why not?
Natural language is just wildly inconsistent. The agent might say, "task is completed," or "I have finished the work," and completely break your parser.
Oh, right. And you can't just monitor the maximum iteration count either because that just signals a timeout, not actual success.
Exactly. The definitive signal comes from the API itself. You need to check if the stop reason parameter equals end turn.
Got it. So that's a strict programmatic confirmation from the model.
Yep. Once the agent finishes and generates code, how do we safely deploy it?
So looking at CI/CD integration, to ensure code quality, couldn't we just let the same agent session review its own generated code? That sounds highly efficient.
I mean, it's efficient, but it creates a massive blind spot feedback loop.
Oh, right, because the agent is highly likely to miss its own critical vulnerabilities.
Exactly. We absolutely need an independent reviewer session instead. And for the actual deployment scripts, you have to enforce non-interactive execution.
Right, you'd use the -p flag in your scripts. That explicitly disables interactive prompts, so your automated pipeline doesn't just freeze up forever, waiting for a human to hit enter.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So stepping back from all the details, what are the big patterns we just saw?
Well, if you remember nothing else from this, remember that relying on prompts is not enough. You have to build deterministic guardrails, like those pre- and post-tool use hooks.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Second, scope your context tightly to avoid noise when agents delegate tasks. And finally, Always rely on strict API signals over fuzzy natural language to control your workflows.
So true. If AI agents can self-organize into hierarchies, independently evaluate each other's code, and operate within rigid programmatic hooks, what role does a human architect play in the long run?
That is the big question.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.